So, you want to get to Diamond and have no friends that want to lose their life to the grueling ranked in Apex Legends? Fear no more, I will be giving you some tips that helped me to get to Diamond multiple seasons almost completely solo. I will break down all the tips I have in the beginning part of the video, and then towards the end I will be taking some of my clips and explaining my thought process through each one. And as always, the best tip I can give to you is to subscribe to the channel, you'll only be helping yourself. However, before we get into the video, I'd love to know what ranks you guys are on average. So let me know in the comments what rank you're sitting at and potentially the highest rank you've got. Now, the first thing I always say to help in any rank and even in unranked is knowing when to engage and when not to engage. Now, I covered this in my arenas ranked guide, but in unranked, if you want to drop hot and have fun, by all means. You want to try and kill a 3-stack on your own, be my guest. However, if you want to climb in ranked, you must know when to take the fights and when to run and potentially rat. Even if you're in the final circles and you're going up against 2 teams, it is always the right decision to let them fight first, so you can decide to either join in and fight or sit back and wait for guaranteed second place. For example of this, let me break down this clip for you right here. There's 3 squads left, and I do actually win this one, so it's quite a nice little clip. I know there's 3 squads left. I know that they've been fighting for a couple minutes. There goes the one down. But the thing is, as soon as this Wraith is dead, and I notice that it goes down to 2 squads left, I know it's only going to be the 2 people that are downed on the right. So I fall back, I shield swap, and just in case something happens, and I can go for the kill. Now, I could have just walked up, straight up and killed the Wraith, kept my ego in check, and I Evo swapped to avoid any, embarrassing moments. This doesn't just matter for the end game either, even during mid game too. So take this situation for example. If you're about to engage a team, first look at the circle. Is it approaching? Will you get cut off and be forced into the circle? Should you want to rotate around a mountain or a building after the fight? Could a third team be coming up behind you? Is your team even ready? Ultimates charged, enough ammo, etc.? These are all things that you should be thinking about before you engage, which is a lot. And you also have to remember that the enemy team could very well be a 3-stack, which means they know if the team is ready, but you can only assume that the team is ready. However, when you take all these into account, there's still another step. So say you have thought about all of the above, you then engage the enemies. What's the next steps? Well, you have to remember that at any point you could get third partied. A good way to potentially stop this is to check all your flanks whilst shielding. You get 3 to 4 seconds to check all around you if you're using a shield cell or a shield battery, and this is a thing I love to do, as getting third partied is one of the worst feelings in Apex Legends. However, fights can last a pretty long time, so you do need to be on the ball at all times. And just doing a shield, looking around to see if there's anyone approaching you whilst you're shielding and your teammates are fighting the team, it allows you to keep all eyes on deck so you can prevent that from happening. The next tip I have is picking your legend. Apex Legends has a huge list of legends to choose from, but you have to find the line between having a legend you are good with, a legend you enjoy, but also a legend that works well with your team. For example, I don't see the point with picking a legend like Crypto, as he requires good teamwork, which if you are solo, will not work. However, if you pick a legend like Bangalore or Octane and you have a good leadership skill, you can orchestrate good tactics. I would even argue that Lifeline isn't a good solo player, as her reviving healing drone can change a fight completely if used right, and sometimes if you're not using good communications, you might kill a player by reviving them and then not having their knockdown shield, or you might just drop your healing drone at a point which is not worth it. So back to what I said, make sure you find the line between a good, enjoyable legend that you like to play, but one that also works well with the team. Up next we have rotations. Now this leads back to my previous tip about knowing when to engage and disengage from a fight. When making any decision you have, to understand the bare mechanics of any Apex Legends fight. Whoever has the better position will always win if all players are equal. And what I mean by that is I'm not comparing you to a 3-stack of Preds that are in Platinum Diamond lobbies. But you have to make sure you take the high ground or even rotate to a different rock in open fighting. So say the enemy is behind a building, moving in as 3 in a straight line isn't a good idea, as 2 moving slightly round to pincer the enemy. Now another tip I have and I find this to be quite important, is do not be afraid to rat. There is this weird aura that you're ashamed to the Apex Legends community if you rat in Apex Legends. Right now there are tons of legends that can stop you from ratting, you know, Seer, Bloodhound, but unfortunately if you're trying to go for those high ranks, sometimes you need to leave your teammates banners. Sometimes you need to leave your teammates whilst they lose the fight to then, you know, backtrack and get, you know, and engage whether or not you should go back and get the banners or move on. But please don't be hesitant to rat. You can see in all the clips that you're watching right now that is playing in the background, pretty much 4 of these games all ended with me coming second, because coming second is better than coming third, which is better than coming 4th in terms of your RP points. And bear in mind, the title of this video is to help anyone get diamond solo in Apex Legends. Now, my biggest tip I always have, and I always say, is to always plan your second move. I honestly think the game Dota 2, which is a MOBA similar to League of Legends, has really helped me with this, as I was always thinking of the next step. In Apex Legends, however, you have to plan the next steps as you go. It could be as simple as, I'm going to loot that box after I loot this box. But then when doing this, you will get to a stage where you can do that in fights. So I'm going to push through that door and make sure that my back is covered. I'm going to push that octane that's run away, and then I know that when I get there, I've got to be careful of my back, or I know that the enemy is to the right. So I need to make sure that when I kill and down and kill this octane, I need to know that I need to be facing towards those buildings to prevent any rushing from the enemies. Now, this is one of my favorite tips because it's something that everyone does in many games subconsciously. You just need to bring it forward to kind of, you know, bring it into the light and do it a little bit more, you know, with you knowing about it as well. But now onto some breakdown clips. So let's go through some of my clips from a recent stream where I hit diamond, and I'll explain to you some of the moves that I made and why. So you can see in this clip here, I'm taking out a team of 2. I've got my teammates behind me. Now I down the Bangalore and my shield is obviously depleted. And then I push right. Now my teammates actually take off the Gibby by themselves. And as I move in, I know I need to shield swap. I can take my shield back and shield up because it's only got 110 until the next Evo. I look at chat really quickly, but then I look back and you can see I'm looking around to see if there's any enemies. I can't see any, so that means I can turn back and start looting. Now onto this clip here. You can see the Bloodhound scan revealed that they've both pushed away, so I know that I can push up. Now I catch eyes with the Loba, I believe, and I ended up actually doing quite a lot of damage to them, but I can see that my fellow Bloodhound is pushing up. So I get the one down, I then move in and I keep pushing forward. Again, I'm going to smoke to the right and go to the left, which forces the horizon to move to the left, which isn't a great Bangalore tactic. See the third person, take off the third person with a nice swifty shotgun. And one of the things I do immediately is I go to shield swap. Because you need to get into the habit of shield swapping the minute you can. There's a very good chance that you're going to need to shield swap immediately, so just bear that in mind. I just approached a team that were just fighting, so I know they're here, so I can, you know, do a lot of damage on the octane, do even more damage and knock the fuse, which means I know that there's 2 enemies left, right? So I've already decided that when I down the fuse, the low octane and a wraith that is now, you know, on the run. So I can down the octane, then I know it's just me and a single wraith. So I know that I can push up, I can do a bit of damage. I've still got fuse on my team. The wraith pushes away, but I'm in no fit shape to push whatsoever. I'm also out of ammo on my R99, so I go for the quick finisher. The grenade stopped them from pushing. We do know the wraith is somewhere in that tunnel. Do we chase that? Do we fall back? I immediately, you know, set foot on chasing the wraith. The wraith pushes in, and I believe I mess up without reloading, but then I take off the final kill. So what I could have done better there is reload my R99 and my flatline, make sure they're both reloaded so that when I go into the fight, I'm in for a good position. I like landing in similar places because I can get to know them. So I can attack the Ash, miss a couple shots, hit 1, hit 2, hit 3, and then again, just taking out the fight, pick up the purple shield. I know that the team's to the left. So right there and then I picked up the shield knowing to go immediately left and start pushing. I then take out the Loba, which then reduces it to a 2v2, turn around, don't know what the last time was doing in a completely different game, push up with the Mozambique, and all 3 people dead. a lot of high predator lobbies, what they do is they drop a shield so that when the enemy, so when the teammate gets revived, they pick up the shield. They only need to, you know, replenish their health that they've lost, and you only need to replenish your shield. So both of you can be back up in the fight insanely quickly. This is the last breakdown that I'm going to do here. This is a very good idea of how to play, you know, as a rat towards the end game. We know the enemy team is in front of us, but we got pincered by the enemy team to our left because we stupidly pushed forward. I was feeling myself a bit too much, you know? So we're going to fall back. I'm going to get the high ground. So I know that I can get the zipline straight up and shield up. It's not a problem at all. My teammates are unfortunately going to die. Now, I can completely play the game here. I could probably go for a nice win here, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, I don't get the win, but I do get a nice second place. When I shoot and an enemy team shoots back at me, the other team will then think about attacking. So that's one of the good things about ratting, is playing the enemy teams off against themselves. Now, I do kind of want to go for the win. You know, I am a content creator. I like to create cool things. I know for a fact that the team are now down 2, and there's a team of 3 pushing to the 2 on the left. So now is my opportunity to you know, deal some damage in a way. So I can throw my throw my smokes out, prolong the fight a little bit. I won't be able to obviously revive anyone, so there's no point, but I can play the game for second place. My ult is also ready off the bat, but they obviously do have a Gibby, so that doesn't help. But all I'm doing is I'm sitting waiting, but I do hear the Wraith. Down the Wraith, there's 2 people left in the squad. Now, unfortunately, the enemy team does beat me here. But you know, you can't win them all, but it's always good to secure that second place win. Thank you for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, consider dropping a sub to the channel. You can catch me live on Twitch streaming Apex Legends. Until the next video, I'll see you later.